Hello everyone. Remember, like and subscribe because you want more food content. Anyway, once again, we're making lasagna. I've been requested to make more because someone thought fine. So we got onions, diced tomatoes, rosemary, mixed herbs, beef stock, minced garlic, soy for that saltiness, mirin because why not? It's nice. Italian white wine vinegar. Pity I don't have red wine vinegar, but whatever. And pesto. And of course, the key thing, mince. I'm only going to be using this section, so other people can easily use that. First step, you get your onions. Onions chopped. Next step, blender time. Get your pot. I'll go about a tablespoon of oil in. Light it up. Grab your mince. Dump it in the pot. Should be using a wooden spoon. I should be. Look at that. Bit of magic. Right, with the onion and the mince mixed together, kind of, you pretty much just want to cook it over a medium heat to brown the mince. Once the mince is dark browned, that's when you're ready for the next step. Yeah, once it gets sort of browned down to a nice sort of sloppy consistency, it's still a tiny bit red, but that'll brown up in the next couple of minutes while we do other things. Alright, time to open the diced tomatoes. See, I've used many can openers in my time, and these cheap ones, they seem to be the best. Well, at least they are stickers. They outlive pretty much any of the other fancy ones. One-handed can opening does not happen. You know what that means? Yay! You know what I forgot to do? Add the garlic. Got a good old soup spoon. This will do. Because, yo, who don't like garlic, yeah? Like I said, it's browned up nicely. Mix it in. And then you got to add the tomatoes. Pretty much next up, you just start adding whatever you think would go good in lasagna. I mean, the only bad choices, the ones that make it taste worse. Or the ones that make it, per se, inedible. Time to add all the flavour things. We got the pesto. Beef stock. Yeah, we don't use the beef stock that often. That'll just really boost that beef flavouring. Rosemary. Yeah, it should do. Mixed herbs. Italian white wine. Yeah, you know, just do however much you really want. Sweet rice mirin. Yeah, a little bit more. And then a bit more soya sauce. Honestly, a lot of it's up to personal preference how much you add, but yeah. There is like wrong and right amounts to add. Too little and it's like you can't even taste it. Too much and it's just overpowering. But there's, you know, there is a nice midpoint. But you usually got to figure that out for yourself, which sucks. Anyway, you're going to want to let that simmer around for a couple of minutes on just a low heat. That'll just really help the flavours, you know, mix, pop, be yum. Alright, so next up, we've got to make the white sauce, or the cheese sauce, or whatever. First of all, I'm using margarine. You can use butter, but yeah, just whatever is your personal preference. Some people love the taste of butter. I personally don't really care for it too much. Heck, on my sandwiches, I use hummus. Or sometimes pesto. Depends upon what I have in the fridge, but yeah. Never butter or margarine in my sandwiches, y'all. Right, yeah, heat is up way too high. Take it down to the lowest of heats. Yeah, trying to not splash the margarine around as it heats up. Right, as that's melting, you'll notice that the mince mix is simmering away quite nicely. It's got a quite nice colour to it. Problem is, there's like a lot of liquid in there, so I'll just let that just gently simmer away for a while longer. Right, I can smell that it's burnt a little bit, so I'm going to turn off the gas and just let it melt of its own temperature. As you can see, it's almost gone. Right, next up for the white sauce, you got to use flour, which is, I don't know, people like wondering, why the heck can we use flour in a sauce? I mean, really? Oh, that might actually be a bit too much flour, but oh well. Pretty much just, yeah, good old mix it up until it's almost a dough-like substance. Yep. Oh, actually, no, that was like the perfect amount of flour. Alright, cool. And then turn the heat back on. Just on a very gentle heat, of course. And next up, you're going to need to get milk. Got milk. Oh. Just going to start with about half a cup. And just pour that straight in. Wow, it's all still on a very low heat. Next up, mix that. Mix it, mix the mix. Now you may be wondering, I've got camembert there. Yes, I've been calling this cheese sauce, haven't I? Or white sauce, cheese sauce. Well, it's at this point it's become white sauce, but add the cheese in there, it comes cheese sauce. That's my thoughts anyway. Probably wrong, but whatever. You know what I haven't added to this? Yeah, pepper. Right, once I add the cheese in, I'll add a bit of pepper. Right now you just want to mix that dough blob that was the flour. Just want to mix that into the milk. Once it's like, 80% mixed in, then you can add the cheese. Alright. You can still see some lumps in it, but that'll be fine. That's actually starting to thicken up just a tiny bit, so let's add le camembert. Bother. Plastic. I'd rather not eat that. Yoink. Alright. So this will just take a bit of time to dissolve, but yeah. That helps it along a lot more. And from here you just pretty much keep it on low heat and keep mixing it in. Yeah, it looks like I've got to add something again. Pepper. Yeah, that should do. Alright, well that's still heating up the cheese blocks of the camembert, so that'll still take a bit of time to melt. In the meantime, this one's been simmering away for a while, so it is time to turn it off. Right, now that the heat things up, the cheese is melted in, and it's got a consistency. I mean, there's still chunks, but that's usually the skin of the camembert. But it should have a consistency similar to like runny yogurt, kinda. Maybe ketchup sort of consistency. Yeah. Ketchup, catsup, tomato sauce, y'all. Tomato sauce. Right, it's now time to actually start putting the stuff into the dish. I've got lasagna sheets, but first step, you don't put the lasagna sheets straight in there. What you want to do is grab a few spoons of the mince mix, Dump them in. Get some of the liquid in there as well. Yep. But the trick is you mix it. Shake it, shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture. Hey, hey. And it evens itself out, roughly. Then next up, get a few lasagna sheets. And also you just dump them in. Press them down a little. Hopefully they don't snap. Now I've figured out a much better spot to work in. Get some of the cheese sauce. Just spread it out over the top of each lasagna sheet. Chunky can be a skin, but whatever. No one knows it's there once it's cooked. Oh, Jesus. Haha. Because it's cheese. Get it? You probably do. The joke was very lame. Alright, let me tell you all a joke. Why is cow's milk so unbalanced? Wanna know why? Because they lactose. Yep. Once you get another layer of the mince mixture on, spread it around, bring it around town, as the sponge of Bob would say, especially when he's in Squidward's face. Dump more cheesy stuff on it. If you're wondering if this is the only cheese we're going to use on it, no it is not. There is more cheese to come, and different types of cheese. This is a 3-cheese lasagna. Spread it around. I mean, you're meant to have complete coverage of the lasagna sheets. But honestly, who really cares? I should have cut up a sheet or broken it up. But hashtag, whatever. It's your cooking. You do it the way you want. That's like one of the biggest tips of cooking is once you start getting comfortable, once you've learnt the basics, just start experimenting. See what is good, what isn't. Experiment. Alright, we got a load of mince left. We got a lot of mince left. How many layers do I want this? I could just simply, no, that kind of needs a top cheese sauce layer. Alright. This is going to be a very thick boy, that's for sure. Time to open up more. Opening up with one hand is not the easiest. Put against my burley. There we go. And it's open. With a bit of mutton. Not the meat. Mutton just means use the force. Actually, if I... See, the problem is there's only like 6 lasagna sheets left. 1, 2, 3, yep. Right, so I'm going to have to add the rest of the mince to this now. Added. Alright, now that the last 2 are added, you pretty much just do the rest of the cheese sauce and then, yep. That's the final layer of the cheese sauce. Now time to move on to the next set of cheese. Yeah, it's cut. Right, so that's the feta cheese. You might have seen on my community tab, I had the other lasagna. That was the one I made like a week ago. Anyway, that cheese on top, the one that is doing like this, was also feta, but it was a basil pesto flavoured feta. Yum. Wouldn't mind some more of that, but unfortunately the Reducer Clear store that I got all the stuff from, or most of the stuff, they didn't have any in stock, which kind of happens because, you know, things tend to only be in stock temporarily at places like that until they're sold out. Well, because that's life. Normally these blocks of feta would cost like $4 or $5 each. At the store I went to, it was $3 for $5. I mean, you can't argue with that. Cheap cheese is cheap cheese. Alright, now that's all that feta is on. It's time to add the cheese that'll actually melt on top, because no, that cheese won't melt. See, in New Zealand we quite love tasty cheese. See, it's actually a type of cheddar cheese. But cheddar can be like mild, blah blah, Edam, and tasty. And tasty is usually that it's higher fat content and it's aged for longer. And oh boy, it is yum. There we go. That's it. Done for now. This part. It's just time to do the next bit. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Yep, that's right. I'm using a mini oven. Alright. Mini oven just went ding. This oven mitt, it's a good one. Well, because of its thickness. I was once using gas stove, had it bit over, and yeah, started burning thing. It's just started coming apart ever since. Anyway, here is the finished product. Nom 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 nom. Yeah, that's right. Ain't that lovely?